Boxing Promotions y Grito de Guerra Boxing presentan el combate estelar de esta tarde. Está pactado a 8 rounds en la división de peso super ligero. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your main event of the evening. Set for 8 rounds of boxing in the super lightweight division. Your 3 judges scoring this bout in ringside. Sus 3 jueces: Jesse Hernández, Sergio Lechuga y Alejandro Rochín Mápula. And when the action begins, su referee para este combate de la Isla del Encanto, Puerto Rico, Ángel Méndez. Ahora bien, amigos aficionados que nos siguen a través de la señal de VIP The Best in Boxing, estamos en vivo desde la frontera más visitada del mundo, Tijuana, Baja California, México. ¡Ajusten sus cinturones! Introducing to you first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He wears white trunks with red trim. He officially weighs in 138.5 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, pantaloncillo color blanco con rojo, con un peso de 138.5 libras. In 15 professional bouts, he stands with 13 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, and 11 of those victories coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 13 victorias, 1 derrota, 1 empate y 11 de esas victorias por la vía del knockout. El fuerte noqueador representando a la colonia 3 de octubre de Tijuana, Jose Pipino Cuevas. Más audio, por favor. And his opponent across the ring, standing in the red corner. He wears the Mexican colors, green, white, and red. He officially weighs in 139.5 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, vistiendo los colores patrios, verde, blanco y rojo, con un peso de 139.5 libras. In 18 professional bouts, 16 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, and 13 of those victories coming by the fast way of knockout. Presenta un récord de 16 victorias, 1 derrota, 1 empate y 13 de esas victorias por la vía del knockout. From Bellingham, Washington, con sangre de Mazatlán, Sinaloa, y representando San Diego House of Boxing, San Diego, California, USA, the Diamond Boy, Kevin Torres. And now here is with the final instructions, your referee in charge para las indicaciones finales, Ángel Méndez. 8 rounds, 8 saltos.
Caballeros, ya se les dieron las instrucciones. Protéjanse a todo momento, sigan las instrucciones. Quiero una pelea limpia. Muy buena suerte. Toquen guantes.
Head into our main event of the afternoon. Here from Tijuana, Mexico, Outdoor Arena. Kevin Diamond Boy Torres versus Jose Pipino Cuevas of Tijuana.
No. Right off the bat, I think this round is going to be a study round. Both these fighters, like I mentioned, are knockout artists, but they're smart fighters.
Yeah, we've seen Kevin Torres here on Best in Boxing before, and he does have a very good style of boxing. He's a boxer puncher. I would categorize him as that. We've yet to see Jose Pipino Cuevas, no relation to
the legend, Pipino Cuevas himself. Right off the bat, we see Kevin Torres coming in with those hard jabs, not just to the head, but to the body, trying to dictate the pace. And so far, I think he has. Keeping Cuevas on the back foot.
You know, watching Kevin Torres move inside the ring, I can't help to remember the big Canelo Alvarez style. Kevin Torres sort of resembles Canelo's styles. Won't you say that, guys?
Yeah, a good time ago, I want to say maybe 2-3 years ago, he had a knockout that was reminiscent to when Canelo Alvarez knocked out Carlos Baldomir, the way this guy fell was the same way Baldomir fell.
And touching upon what you guys were mentioning right now, you see the waist movement that Torres has, being able to duck under the punches of Cuevas and hit him with an overhand right, I believe it was. And at this caliber of fights, you start to see the feints, the little gimmicks that professional fighters have and use.
And Kevin going and displaying that movement, like you said. Cuevas doesn't seem to have the same amount of boxing talent right off the bat. We're gonna see if that power comes into play in this fight. Not necessarily opening up yet is Cuevas. Torres maybe throwing a few more shots, but keeping it limited as well. They're studying each other.
Yeah, this is just a study round.
It is an 8-round bout.
Well, you know what, guys? Both of these guys have punching power. So, in a fighter's mind, does that make you a little bit more hesitant in order to engage with him, knowing
Yes.
that they have one punch knockout power?
Yes, of course. You can't ignore the danger that is present in both hands of Cuevas and Torres. However, I believe that Kevin Torres is being smart by coming in there and staying at a good distance, but still staying active with his punches. Now, Cuevas could be moving around, looking at the ring, letting Kevin throw a little bit, and studying him. Because this first round is when you see, where is his guard open?
Yeah, both fighters.
What does he do when I throw a jab,
Both fighters did a little bit more studying in that first round. We'll see what the second round brings. As we commence the second round of our main event of the evening. Kevin Torres, Jose Pipino Cuevas, super lightweight contention.
You see Cuevas coming in with those fast jabs, while Torres is throwing those hard jabs to the head and to the body.
And the corner of Cuevas asking for an overhand right. Seemed like he thought about it there, but stumbled forward onto Torres.
To try a check hook too. When Torres throws that hard jabs.
And these are sharp jabs from Torres.
Yeah, because they both throw jabs, but you can tell the power is on the jab that Torres is throwing.
Yeah, Torres' jab has like more snap into it, right?
It's crispy, man.
Yeah. We're getting hungry. No?
Yeah, I'm getting hungry now, man. Calm down with the
Crispy,
top.
yeah. Guacamole, bacon, yeah. Sounds about right.
And it seems as though Cuevas kind of getting a little bit more confidence now. Kind of first time he's stepping forward as you step. There he goes, stepping back again. Oh.
Yeah, but you know what? He's doing what Lopez was doing in the past fight, where he's jumping in, throwing the combinations, and stepping back, which he should do.
I've yet to see combinations yet from Cuevas. He's getting in there, but he's not necessarily throwing too much.
One thing I really like about Kevin Torres is that he's not he's always moving. He's not being Cuevas' target to hit. He's not being static. So and you don't normally see that on fighters such muscular as Kevin Torres. You normally see them like more static, like throwing one punch knockout power each time. And Kevin Torres is not being that static. He's moving.
Well, yeah, but Cuevas landed a good jab. While you were saying that, praising Torres.
Yeah,
didn't do much damage, but still got everybody's attention here.
That's what I get for speaking so slow.
No.
And you know what? Kevin Torres is doing a good job at moving, but he's staying active. He's staying in the distance to attack. So, like you guys compared him to Canelo, this is what Canelo does. He stays in your face, but with that waist movement, he evades your punches and attacks you when you make mistakes.
Pipino Cuevas' corner asking him to throw the jab more often.
This should include with a little bit more pop as
Yeah,
well.
He's throwing kind of just pity-pat punches, not necessarily sitting down on his shots. Is Cuevas, as Kevin Torres is, he's throwing to hurt you.
Yeah, man, and there's a huge difference between those two jabs. Now, Kevin Torres, if he doesn't feel the necessity to evade one of his punches, one of his jabs, because he's throwing them so slow, there's fighters that will eat that jab in order to hit you with that right, and that right's going to put you to sleep. Both these guys have that knockout power. And with Cuevas, he needs to look out for counters when he throws those kind of pity pat
Those
jabs.
pity-pat shots,
jabs,
yeah,
right?
he needs to put some mustard on him.
Yep.
There you go again, mustard.
You know what I said at the beginning of this telecast? I don't know if it was the pay-per-view portion of it. I said people like to say that. But guess what, Gerardo? I like to say that.
He is people, man.
Yeah.
As we begin the third round of our main event, a little bit more busy is Kevin Torres with that jab.
I like how he throws the jabs and then move. He's waiting. He's not being static at all.
And the corner of Cuevas asking for more activity.
And Cuevas is continuing to throw that jab, but it's not doing much yet except marking distance.
I'd like to see the opponents or the knockouts that actually completed, because as of right now, from the beginning of this fight, I don't see it. I don't see that 11 knockout of 13 wins from Cuevas, the way he's throwing his shots.
Yeah, and what Cuevas could do, since he's throwing the jabs kind of lazy or with not so much pop, he could throw a double jab and then put a hard right hand in there. You know, mix it up.
Yeah, definitely needs to mix it up.
And as we say that, we take into account that Torres is not making it easy for him.
Yeah, he's not, but Cuevas landed a few shots there on the inside of Torres. Nothing too damaging, but nonetheless, he did land those shots. He lands to the body and then to the face.
Yeah, the waist movement right now for Torres is outstanding.
And Cuevas, being from Tijuana, has the support of the small crowd that we do have here in this outdoor arena.
And you know what? Torres has fought multiple times here with Best in Boxing. So he has fans in the city too.
Yeah, absolutely, but I wouldn't say that it's the same amount as a fighter
As a
from
hometown
here.
fighter, yeah.
Hometown fighter.
Cuevas starting to pick up the pace.
And when people can travel, he does have a following. You see the fan base. You see the members of House of Boxing. You see his family members, his friends. They make the trip with a 15, 20-minute ride from San Diego to Tijuana.
Yeah, I've seen them even bring their dog to watch Torres.
Does that affect the fighter's mentality, not having his crowd, his family rooting for him? Does that affect in any way, guys?
It doesn't affect you negatively. It's just, we're in here to do what we're here to do. But when you do have a crowd, it gives you that boost of morale.
It definitely does. I see both fighters here picking up the pace on both ends here. After the excuse me guys, after the fans here are yelling for Cuevas to throw and throw and throw,
Yeah, and
Torres
you know what?
picked it up as well.
Yeah, and Cuevas, when he went back to the corner, he looked over to to his fans here in the crowd and kind of nodded like, "Hey, it's cool. I got this."
Yeah. Because Kevin Torres can also hear what they're saying, so he picked it up as well too. So it's a good showing from both fighters. As we see some replays from the past round, Dylan, what do you see here?
I see Torres staying calm, staying collected. You see that head movement, dodging the punches, real Canelo-like.
And coming back with shots.
Yeah. The crowd yelling for Pipino Cuevas, telling him, "All right, you're warmed up. Let's go. Let's get it."
And the few shots that Cuevas has landed seem to bother Torres. Not necessarily hurt Torres, but went ahead and bothered him. So maybe that punching power is there.
Yeah, Torres has thrown and missed with the left hook 3 times. If Cuevas is able to capitalize on that, if he can see it and catch him with a check right hook of his own.
Or if Torres lands that hook, I mean, it might be a good night.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's it.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's it, and that's why we're so excited for this fight, man. Like we said, both these guys are knockout artists.
And
There
there's
it
that
goes.
little check hook.
That's it.
It lands, not doing too much damage. It did pause Cuevas for a second. And Torres throwing that jab, sticking him with that jab. And it seems as though I'm getting the sense that Torres is coming on, landing those hard jabs.
Yeah, Kevin Torres' jab is doing a lot of work for him. He's winning the fight, being able to throw the jab, moving his head, not being stationary whatsoever. So I think the jab work for Kevin Torres is winning him the fight.
Yeah, right now, every time Torres is landing that jab, you see Cuevas' head pop back.
That's right.
And it's not like that when Cuevas throws his jab. He's throwing it to mark. He's throwing it, to keep distance or to keep Torres busy. But Torres has that great head movement, like Cuevas was showing right now, some movement of his own.
And as you mentioned earlier, Gerardo, you get the grunts from Kevin Torres as he throws his shots.
Cuevas now starting to get a little bit of that waist movement too, but gets caught with that solid jab of Torres.
And that'll definitely put a stop to your head movement, make you reset every time you get a hard jab landed on your face. It'll stop you.
Oh yeah, and Torres has not stopped, man. He's been throwing that solid jab in Cuevas' face all night.
And after 4 rounds, we're going to go to our unofficial scorekeeper. Gerardo, how do you got it after 4?
3 rounds to 1, 39 to 36 to 37, Kevin Torres. You know what, guys? Kevin Torres' jab is doing a lot of work for him. That snappy left jab that, as Dylan mentioned earlier, it's putting each time he sends it, you can see that Pipino is snapping his head back. So I have Kevin Torres 3 rounds to 1. There you go, guys.
I agree, man. Yeah. Torres is using that jab properly, man.
Well put, well put. I'll be the third judge. I have it 2-2 going into the 5th round. And we see a solid jab and a little combination there by Kevin Torres.
And the head movement as well.
The head movement, yeah. And they both come out a little bit more aggressive here in the 5th round, maybe getting some urgency from their corners, pick up the pace. And Kevin Torres leading with that jab again. Very educated jab that he throws.
Good head movement by Cuevas.
I mean, Cuevas, man, he's no joke either. You know, he's 13-1 with 11 knockouts. You got to respect that. So for the corner to be pleading for more shots from Kevin, I mean, Cuevas is throwing good shots too.
Yeah, Torres just landed a good left hook.
Oh! And a good hook connected. The corner is complaining that it wasn't a knockdown, but a punch was landed. Cuevas goes down. It's a knockdown.
It's a knockdown.
May not have been as hurt as other shots, but yeah, flash knockdown is a knockdown.
Keep your gloves off the canvas, man.
And it's that left hook that Kevin keeps coming back to. He keeps throwing that, and right now he connected and he got the knockdown.
And he's landing it to the head right now, but if he doubles it up with head, body, man.
Could definitely do some damage. Both fighters landing little combinations there. Cuevas with some urgency coming forward. Knows he needs to get this point back. Ooh. And a good right hand landed by Cuevas.
Cuevas on the offense.
Cuevas
on the
is
attack.
on the offense, yeah.
And
I mean, he feels that urgency.
And he needs to be, because you know what? Torres has been active throughout the whole fight.
But he opens up for Kevin's left hook.
He's going to have to go for it.
And a good strategy there to get off the ropes. Good movement. Cuevas trying to place him back. He does put him on the ropes. See if he can capitalize on it. He does not.
Torres doing a good job of
and a good overhead by Cuevas. And there he goes again. Follows up with the hook.
And you know what, Chris? I think those punches hurt Torres. He's stepping back a little bit.
He did step back. Now he's throwing back his Torres. But for the third time in a row, Cuevas lands that overhand right on Torres. And
this is Cuevas' chance right now. He needs to capitalize on it. But Torres hanging in.
And the way this round closed, Torres is fortunate that he knocked his opponent down. Mandatory 10-8 round, because the way this round closed, with Torres' back against the ropes, Cuevas might have taken the edge if it wasn't for that knockdown.
I like what you said right now. Mandatory 10-8 round considering the knockdown. But we did see a lot of Pipino on the last minute of the round. He didn't actually got hurt. You know what? It is a knockdown. 10-8 is almost mandatory.
Almost
but
mandatory,
he did
yes.
come out and won the last part of the round. So you know what? I am leaning to give him 10-9 round for Kevin Torres on this.
Yeah, and you know what? There is such a thing as a second wind, which Cuevas might be getting right now, because he's coming out with more motivation. His hometown crowd right now is going crazy.
And the crowd saying that Torres is tired. And we've yet to see it, but we still have 3 rounds left. 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, Cuevas is definitely back in. But I don't think Torres is tired, man. And he keeps popping that head back on Cuevas with the jabs.
Yeah, he's showing good movement, is Torres, and we don't see any evidence that he's tired. But that's sometimes a psychological effect that you can have on the fighter. Oh, your opponent's tired. Okay, I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah, that's the benefits of having your your people here supporting you.
Good counter right by Torres there. Cuevas continues to press forward.
And he countered that jab because, like I said, he's throwing it with not too much pop in it, you know?
Yeah, he's just flickering that jab out there. Is Cuevas, not necessarily putting too much effort into connecting hard.
Torres doing a good job of moving around the ring, And Cuevas is now the guy that's putting on the pressure.
Yeah, and a good little turn of events here, as we see that Kevin Torres can box, he can move, he can stick.
Cuevas stalking Kevin Torres, putting on the pressure, as Dylan said.
Torres is staying intelligent, man. Moving around.
And it just might be that the shots that Cuevas throws are just heavy. I mean, 11 knockouts and 13 wins. He probably just hits hard, you know, if he's making Kevin Torres respect him enough to box instead of brawl like he usually does. Or not brawl, but pressure.
Ooh. Good left hook.
Good hook landed by Torres, but it's not enough to keep Cuevas off of him as Cuevas continues to pressure and bring the fight to Kevin Torres.
Good job to Kevin Torres working off the back foot. Cuevas is putting on that pressure, man. As you hear the crowd here urging Cuevas to put pressure on Kevin Torres.
And it seemed to have been working up until these last 20 seconds or so, where Cuevas just froze.
Yeah, and I think that's a mistake. He can't stand in front of Kevin Torres and not throw.
As we bring it in to the final 2 rounds, gonna call on our unofficial scorer after 6. Gerardo, how do you have it?
All right, 58 to 55 for Kevin Diamond Boy Torres. You know, as you said, Chris, I just wanted to put that point out there. But as you said, round number 5, you gotta give it a almost mandatory 10-8 round. So that, considering that, I think that Pipino Cuevas came back on this 6th round in order to win this round. So 58 to 55, Kevin Torres.
Very nice. As we catch a replay of the last round, we see Kevin Diamond Boy Torres simply using his boxing skills.
And like I mentioned, he's fighting off the back foot, but he's doing a good job at it.
Landing a good lead right there. Pipino Cuevas did not have an answer in that last round.
Kevin Torres coming out more aggressive this round.
And a good right hand by Torres. Does not halt Cuevas.
Cuevas has a chin. Cuevas has a chin. He has absorbed Kevin's power all through this 6 rounds.
And he keeps coming, he keeps throwing.
Oh, good left hook by Cuevas.
Good left hook, good uppercut by Kevin Torres. And a good overhand right by Cuevas. Good
fight now.
Yeah, good exchange by both. Kevin Torres rips to the body. And it doesn't seem to deter Pipino Cuevas as he charges forward and see the landing shots. And a little bit of holding by Cuevas, separated by the ref, and back to it. There you go, good hook shot landed by Cuevas.
Good work on the inside by both. I think Cuevas should get a little bit of space so he can throw in power punches. Yeah, see, he's getting too close and smothering the power of the punches that he's throwing.
But also at the same time smothering what Kevin Torres is doing. So, I mean, that mental pressure of a guy just coming forward on you when typically Kevin Torres is the guy going forward. Typically, Kevin Torres is the aggressor. Right now, he's fighting off his back foot, you know,
and doing a good job.
Doing a good job, but the mental pressure being applied by Cuevas, you know, sometimes that could get you to get tired far more quickly than if you're the aggressor.
That's the Mexican pride right there, keeping on the pressure, never letting an inch, always moving forward and throwing punches.
So right now, I see Kevin Torres landing the shots, even though Cuevas is the one charging forward, keeping that pressure.
Had a good combination right there.
Nice
And another
flurry.
one by Torres.
As we close in on the last 30 seconds, another little pity-pat combination by Kevin Torres, and he continues to just slip and slide, Floyd Mayweather style. Definitely a different game that we're used to seeing. Cuevas bringing on and closing strong the round. May or may not be able to give it to him. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, who do you give that round to?
That's a definite
That's a very tough round.
tough round to score. Honestly, for me, I would give that round to Kevin Torres because he won 85% of the round. You know, Cuevas closed strong. I don't think it was enough to win the round.
Well, we're coming to the final round of this exciting fight, like we predicted. Kevin Torres versus Cuevas. We knew this was going to be competitive. We said this from the beginning, and it did not disappoint.
It did not disappoint. Very good matchmaking by Boristeca Boxing Promotions, by Grito de Guerra Promotions. This is what boxing is about, man. I like it. This was a good card. We get a good main event. Two fighters trying to win. Nobody's folding.
And you know what, guys? If I'm on Kevin Torres' corner, I need to state the obvious.
Did he take a knee? Did he take a knee? It looked like
It looked like it, Chris.
It looked like Cuevas took a knee. Solid shot by Torres landed there.
Oh, and he's throwing it again. It's that overhand right, Chris.
I'd like to see the replay because it looked like Cuevas took a knee when Torres landed that short left hook.
Oh, a good body shot by Torres.
He's hurt.
And you're right, Gerardo. It seems like Cuevas is hurt. See if Torres can capitalize on a hurt opponent.
And that is what I was about to say. That if I am at Kevin Torres' corner, you need to remind and state the obvious. You're not the local guy. You need to take this fight home. And I think that Kevin Torres is doing that.
He's trying to prove that right now in the 8th and final round. Cuevas is trying to make his plead for his case as well, trying to throw shots. They're not as crisp as Kevin Torres' shots, but let alone he's throwing and landing. And once again, I'd like to take a look back if that knee did touch at the beginning of the round by Cuevas. And a good overhand right by Torres. Pipino Cuevas puts his opponent on the ropes, continuing to press forward.
I think that was a low blow.
And it seemed like it was a low blow, considering Cuevas smothers this shot. Great blow. And a good overhand right by Torres. Response by Cuevas. As I'm a bit puzzled. Okay, never mind. The mouthpiece came out. I did not see it.
Yeah,
None of us saw it.
As he threw the overhand right, Kevin Torres' mouthpiece fell off.
As we come into the final minute of the final round of the final bout of the afternoon.
Little rough tactics for Kevin Torres.
Yeah, but both fighters are not giving an inch. Good overhand right by Torres, followed up by an uppercut. And it seemed to get Cuevas' attention as he kind of halted his offense for a second. And another solid overhand right by Torres, kind of sealing the deal for closing this match. And a hard body
good
shot.
body shot.
You know, in the middle rounds, Cuevas brought it, but Torres definitely closed the last 2 rounds strong, making a good case to win this fight. But we still have the decision of the judges of what's to come. But before that, we're going to send it to our unofficial scorer. How do you see it after 8, Gerardo?
78-73 to Kevin Torres. You need to be reminded, folks, of the knockdown on round number 5. So that is a mandatory, as Chris stated earlier, 10-8 round. So I get the sense, guys, that this is a closer fight that the card is projecting, but it could either be closer, as the local judges are here from Tijuana.
Yeah, and you know what? While we wait for the decision,
we're gonna
look
see
at this replay real quick.
If the knee touched of the little shots that not so little, excuse me, that's not the right terminology to use, of the solid hard shots that landed by Torres. You know, we're going to see if the knee touched of Jose Pipino Cuevas at the beginning of the round. I like to think that he did, but the replay will go ahead and show us that. And having a few technical difficulties, are we?
Well, while we wait for that replay, I just want to thank LRT Tire Warehouse for sponsoring this event. You know, thanks to you guys, we have these amazing fights.
LRT.
This card was stacked, man, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, LRT Tire Warehouse, thank you, bringing us the main event. Kevin Torres, Jose Pipino Cuevas, fantastic matchup, good investment. And as we get word from the truck, we get a replay.
Yeah, he looked like he was going down.
So we got a different angle. We didn't necessarily see the knee touch, but we see a wobble as we take it for the official announcement.
Damas y caballeros,
from
después
Pablo
de 8
Flores.
rounds de combate, tenemos la decisión de los jueces. This bout, ladies and gentlemen, has gone to the distance of 8 rounds, and now we have the judges' scorecards. El juez, Judge Jesse Hernandez, he scores it 79-72, 79-72. And judges Sergio Lechuga and Alejandro Rochin have the same scores of 80-71. Estos dos últimos jueces coinciden en números 80-71. For your winner by the way of unanimous decision, su ganador por la vía de la decisión unánime, Bellingham, Washington, Mazatlán, Sinaloa y San Diego House of Boxing, the Diamond Boy, Kevin Torres. Y también fuerte reconocimiento para su rival de Tijuana, José el Pipino Cuevas.